this morning you will need 2 blocks. 1, 2, and a strap. Okay. And we're going to start in virasana. So seated on your knees, 1 or 2 blocks. So if you're using 2 blocks, they'll go side by side. And place them between the feet, underneath each sit bone. It just makes it a little more comfortable. If you're just using one, rather than place it this way, see if you can have a wider base. And again, that will allow you to sit on the block with both sides of the sit bones supported. And then once you're here, just give the front of your thighs a little bit of a massage forward and back, and then maybe just a little squeeze up and down the legs. Okay. And then same thing with the arms. And then squeeze back up the arms. And then a nice head massage today. So mess up your hair, because I know everyone has created a beautiful hairstyle for yoga this morning. So go ahead and mess it up. Get some yoga hair. So you're going to rub around the base of the skull, and then just a little bit of traction on the hair. Just pull the hair just a little bit. You'll really feel the lymph waking up and moving, maybe just underneath the skin, maybe. Okay. And then massage your face, put your cheeks and your chin, temples, forehead, and then just a little tapping. Do a little yoga mini facial here in the morning. Tap down the neck, into the chest, thymus area, out to the shoulders, and then the belly. On the legs, and then shake it out. And here you go, come into stillness. And as you fall into this place of being still, can you still feel the sensation of just that little bit of movement, a little bit of tapping, massage on the body to wake the body up? And bring your mind's attention away from that sensation to the breath, the sensation of the breath. And then bring your mind's attention back to the sensation of the tapping, massage on the body. Where can you still feel that subtle awakening? And then bring your mind's attention, call it back to the breath. Right? And so we practice watching, right? What happens when we move our attention of our mind from here to there, from this to that? Do you notice how where you place your attention is really your experience then of the world? Your experience then of the sensation, what you're feeling. And so if we do this here in this small example, right, sensation of the body, sensation of the breath, just this play back and forth of where we're placing our attention. What happens when we start to do that in our life? How can we shift our experience of the world just by changing what we pay attention to. And so we'll stay here for 5 more breaths, and you can continue to play with back and forth. Where do you feel sensation? Breath, body, body, breath. Or if you prefer to stay with a particular experience, just stay with that. Right? I want all of my attention on the breath. This is the experience that I want right now. You can play with that, continue to play with that throughout the practice today. Where is my attention, right? And when do you feel your attention move? Maybe it goes away from the breath and the body entirely, and it wanders to what you're doing this weekend, right? And we can just start to notice that. How much of my time am I spending here in the present, living right here in this moment? And how much of it am I somewhere else? And there's nothing wrong with it, right? But if we're constantly wishing for the past or the future, we are missing out on living right now. So just watch your experience today. Be the observer of the breath, of the body, of the experience. And when you're ready, rock forward all of your block. Come to your hands and knees. Right? Palms under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers wide and then just turn the hands out to the side. Sometimes we turn them all the way out. But today you're just going to turn them out to the sides and rock way to the right, way to the left. Again, way to the right, nice wrist stretch. And to the left again. And then tucking your toes under for Vajrasana, right? Sometimes we call this toe stretch Vajrasana. Sometimes we don't tuck the toes under. Today we're going to tuck the toes under. Make sure you tuck that little pinky toe under. Maybe it's a tiny toe like my toe is, and it misses out on this stretch, and then it's so very sad. But I am going to, because I've been doing more running lately and my arches are super tight. Today I'm going to place a block underneath my knees. That's going to make this pose less intense, right? If you're like, I don't need it, just have the knees on the floor, but make sure that your hips and your shoulders are lined up here because this can be fairly intense. A lot of times we're like leaning way forward, and that's also okay. But just notice if you can start to pull the shoulders back over the hips. And then rest the hands on the legs. Keep the feet pulling together, right? Because my arches are tight, my heels want to move out and be like, no, not so much. Good, but see if you can keep pulling the heels in. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. And then watch your attention, breath to body, body to breath. Where is your attention? And start to come forward off the block, off your toes. Ooh, that was a nice awakening. Palms under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a breath in, lift your head, lift your tail. Exhale, round your spine, look down at your belly. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, shift the hips to the right. Brush the heels coming back through this child's pose over to the left and back up on the inhale. Hip circles with the breath. And then you're going to pause in the center and switch the other way. So to the left, hips down to the left heel, through center to the right and back up. And then back up to center. Tuck the toes under now. Shift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Step your feet at least hip distance apart, maybe even wider. Yeah, today let's take our feet, take your feet all the way to the edges of your mat. And just a wide leg down dog. Breathe. Push the floor away. See if you can lift the sit bones higher. Really feel that extension in the sides of your waist. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. Turn your toes out. Shift hips to heels. Malasana squat. And playing with your Malasana squat, just place your hands on the floor, shift your weight to the right. You'll come onto the right toes, left heel, and then kind of twisting here again, left toes, right heel. Just play with this movement back and forth. And settle into the center. Moving the shoulders back over the hips. And then planting the hands, walk back into your downward facing dog. And maybe your toes face out, try that. We'll call it a duck walk, down dog, duck walk, down dog. And then try a pigeon-toed down dog where the toes turn in. And just noticing the different sensations, different experience as you change the shape. And where does your attention go? Does it go to the breath? Does it go to the sensation in the body? And then turn the feet, right, neutral position. Step or jump forward to Uttanasana. Lift up halfway. Forward fold, exhale. Rise all the way up to standing arms, reach high overhead. Interlock your fingers, side lean to your right. Reach up through center. Side lean to your left. All the way up. Hands come to your sides, Tadasana. Reach your arms out and up. Forward fold, touch the ground. Lift up halfway. Step your right foot back, lower your knee. Inhale your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Interlock your fingers, reach your palms up to the sky, and then rotate, lean to the left. Keep shifting the hips forward. And then inhale, up, turning the right knee behind you. You're now in a gate pose, right? Or a modified, not gate pose, modified warrior two, okay? Bend your left elbow, reach your left elbow for your left shin or left thigh. Wow, body parts today. Reach your right arm up to the sky. And then we're in a modified side angle. Right arm comes alongside your right ear to extend. Keep the left side lifting. So there'll be this tendency to kind of drop into the shoulder and really like get the torso down toward the knee. Keep this space in the left side of your waist and breathe. Come up into your modified warrior two. Straighten your left leg. And then reach your right hand down to the ground. Now we're in that beautiful gate pose. I knew where we were going. I just didn't know where we were. Breathe in. Breath out. If you want extended, right? Reach the left arm alongside your ear and breathe. Keep lifting out of the right shoulder. So try not to let the right shoulder collapse, but really push into the floor. You can also have a block underneath your right hand. Breathe in. Breath out. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Breath in. Breathe out. Inhale. Back up to your warrior two. And then windmill the hands to the floor. Step back to hands and knees. Take a breath in. Lift your head. Lift your tail. And then tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. The end of this exhale, look forward and step or jump into your Malasana squat. Pause. Stand all the way up. Arms reach high overhead. Step your feet together. Side lean to your left. Reach up through center. Side lean to your right. All the way up. Hands come to your sides, Tadasana. Reach your arms out and up. Look up. Forward fold, touch the ground. Lift up halfway. Step your left foot back this time, lower the knee. Inhale your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Interlock your fingers and side lean to your right. Keep shifting the hips forward. Inhale up to center and then flipping the left knee or right knee, left knee behind. Open up into your modified warrior two. And I'm going to turn so that I'm facing you. Right leg is forward, left leg is underneath the hip, arms wide. Bend your right elbow, forearm to thigh, and left arm reaches straight up. And then alongside your ear. Really feel this more in the left leg. Left hip flexor, left side body. Breathe. Inhale, back up, warrior two, and then straightening the right leg. Left hand comes all the way to the floor or to a block. You might have a block underneath the hand that makes your arms longer. And rotate the right wrist up here in one direction and the other. Reach the right arm alongside your ear. Feel the extension in the right side body. Inhale, back up to your warrior two. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to hands and knees. Take a breath in, lift your head, lift your tail. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Maybe you want to play with pigeon toe down dog or duck walk down dog. Or maybe you want to stay in neutral downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths, just playing with sensation of the breath, sensation in the body. Where is your attention? Come back to neutral downward facing dog, and then lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward between your hands, come into pigeon posture. Staying upright here. And you squeeze the legs in toward each other. Maybe even feel the belly squeeze a little bit more. Shoulders more over the hips. And then as you exhale, lower into your sleeping pigeon. Forehead to the ground. 2 stacked fists to the blocks. Soften the body as you exhale. Notice sensation in the body. Perhaps that it has nothing to do with the pose. Bring your attention back to the breath. Back to sensations in the body. Back to the breath. One more inhale. Exhale, shift your weight to the right hip. Swing the left leg all the way around. And come into Janu Shirsasana. Head toward the knee pose. So the right foot is on the inner thigh of the left leg. Rib cage spins slightly over the left leg. And then extend the forehead toward the knee. If the head can't quite meet the knee today, maybe place a block underneath the forehead, between the head and the leg. Reaching the hands for the foot. Keep the toes pulling back towards your face. Really active left foot. 3 more breaths. Lengthen your torso all the way up. Notice the sensation of release from the shape. Pause for a moment and then bring the left leg in to meet the right. Shifting the sit bone side to side. Give a nice little rock here. Sensation of sit bone meeting the ground as you rock side to side. And then lengthening the torso upright. Feel the belly tone. And then start to take the forehead closer to the feet as you fold forward. Baddha Konasana, bound angle. And lengthening the torso up. Bring the knees together. Hands come behind your back. And just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Real gentle movement. And coming forward, back into hands and knees. Lift your head. Lift your tail. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up. Bring your left foot forward between your hands. Pigeon posture. Coming upright. Feel the legs squeezing in toward each other as you lift the heart. Good. Shoulders more over the hips. Take one more breath in and then exhale. Release to your sleeping pigeon. Letting your attention move from sensations in the body to sensations in the breath, back and forth. Intentional wandering. Intentional wandering of the mind. Just playing with this practice of, if I place my attention here, what is my experience and how does it differ if I place my attention somewhere else? Lengthening your torso up. Shift your weight to the left and swing the right leg all the way around, prepping for Janu Shirtasana. Sole of the left foot inside the right thigh, right leg reaching straight out from the hip joint. And then a little rotation of the torso over the right leg. Extend the forehead toward the knee. Head to knee pose. Three more breaths. Inhale, lengthening your torso up. Bring your right leg in. And take your left leg out, right leg out in a wide leg stance. So walking the feet as wide as you can. And then lift the hips up and tilt the pelvis forward, right? So the tailbone, that peacock tail reaches out behind you. Press into the heels so you have a little bit of a bend in the knees. And then just sit upright, right? Maybe you can reach your arms up overhead. Feel the strength required to hold this with the knees bent, heels pushing down into the earth. One more breath in, and as you exhale, hands come down through the midline, reaching the hands out in front of you. Maybe come down onto the forearms, right? The belly is long, back is flat or neutral as you lean forward in your wide leg forward fold. Now we talked yesterday about opposing muscle groups, right? The opposite group that you're stretching needs to remain strong, right? For the body to feel supported, right? So pull the kneecaps up, feel the external hip rotators, external rotation in the hips, the glutes, tone. And then maybe start to extend the torso a little more forward. Breathing here. And then once you're there, play with moving your attention around the body into the sensation of the breath. What is the experience as you move your attention around? 3 more breaths here. And start to lengthen your torso back up. Lift the knees in toward each other. And fold the right leg in front, left leg behind. Coming into deer posture. The left leg out to the side at a right angle, right leg in front at a right angle. You might want to place a blanket, one fold or two, underneath the right hip, so the forward hip. And I'm feeling this left leg lengthen out to the left. Twist the torso forward, and I come forward over the front leg. Where is your attention? Lengthen your torso up. Swing your left leg around. And just come into Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. Rocking the sit bones side to side. It's a gentle rocking motion. As you transition to the other side, blanket comes underneath the left hip, left leg in front, right leg behind, right angles in both knee joints. Knee lined up with ankle, ankle lined up with knee. The breath in, lift the torso up, working the right leg to the right, and then coming forward once again. Breathing here. Attention moving. Changing the experience by changing your attention. Lengthening the torso up. Swinging the right leg around. One more time, Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, rocking side to side. And if you have a blanket handy, getting a nice head rest for your neck, head, and shoulders. Grab your blocks, lay down on your backs. And then feet on the earth, lift the hips up. Supported bridge pose. You can stay here in your supported bridge or lift your feet fully off the floor into your waterfall position. Simply lifting the hips above the heart. Whether you're in bridge or waterfall. Allowing lymph to flow back up toward the heart. Bending your knees. The legs are up, drop them down. Release the hips from the block. And then dropping the knees out to the sides, supporting the thighs with the blocks. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together. Recline bound angle. Feel the body fully land in this position. Supported by the props beneath you, by the earth beneath the props. Extending one leg out at a time. Final resting posture. Bringing a deep awareness into the body now. Allowing the body to fully relax with each exhale. Imagining as if the body had 10 levels of relaxation. And if this wave of relaxation was washing over you with 10 breaths. Relaxing from the crown of the head to the center of the eyes. Center of the eyes to the base of the neck. From the base of the neck, the center of the chest. From the center of the chest to the base of the rib cage. Base of the rib cage to the center of the navel, relax. Center of the navel to the top of the pelvis, relax. Top of the pelvis to the top of the thighs, relax. From the top of the thighs to the center of the knees. Relax. Center of the knees to the center of the ankles. Relax. The center of the ankles to the tips of the toes. Relax. Full body, relax. Full body, relax. Full body, relax. Begin to deepen the awareness of your breath, drawing your attention back to now through the breath, connecting body and mind through the breath, mind and spirit through the breath, anchoring yourself right here in this experience. And start to bring movement back into the body, slowly bending one knee at a time, placing each foot on the floor. Rolling to one side to pause. Use your hands to find the floor and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. As you're ready, reach your arms up overhead. Join your palms together and exhale your hands to your heart, bowing your head in gratitude for this practice, this moment, this breath, this life. Let's lift our voices and our gaze in the vibration of one Om. Take a breath in. Om. Comes to your forehead, honoring the radiant light within yourself and each other. Namaste.